Welcome to Food and Facilities, an online show for Planting to Processing magazine, formerly West Coast Industrial Solutions magazine. Watch what you read for safety, compliance, and innovation news within manufacturing, agriculture, food processing, and food and beverage industries. In this episode, we'll be discussing Central Valley Craft Chocolate with Yohanes Makmur of Raphio Chocolate, and we'll be discussing sales structure strategies with Jeff Stories of Sales Acceleration and Elevated Sales Partners. Welcome to Food and Facilities. I'm Marketing Director for Planting to Processing, formerly West Coast Industrial Solutions magazine. Make sure to subscribe at wcismag.com/subscribe for all safety, compliance, and innovation news in manufacturing, food and beverage, food processing, and agriculture. Make sure to reach out to our sponsor, Safe Food Alliance. When it comes to food safety, they've got you covered. They have a full 360-degree suite of food safety services. Make sure to check them out at safefoodalliance.com. That's SAFEFOODALLIANCE.com, or you can check out their Food Safety Center in Kingsburg, California. I'm here with Yohanes Makmur of Raphio Chocolate, and he's here to discuss his craft chocolate in the Central Valley. You can reach him at info@raphiochocolate.com. That's RAPHIOCHOCOLATE.com, or you can give him a call at 559-424-3369. Thank you for joining, Yohanes. Can you give us a little background on yourself and Raphio for our viewers and listeners?
We actually started 2015. The idea of I had a partner at that time. The idea was to actually import cacao beans as a commodity from Indonesia, where I was born and raised. So my ex-partner at that time, just my good buddy, and we went through college together from same country, and we just hang out. And both of us were professionals. We have our full-time job, but on the side we were like, what can we do? What the market really demand. And he came up with idea and I think encounter the craft chocolate movement in US. But when we looked at Indonesia as a source, it's not on the map. So we said, well, our family's still there. We have connections. We have siblings and family members who are definitely can help us navigate the supply market. So we did, and we found a farmer. We liked working with him, and we actually tried to ship samples and some products, and we got them. We like it, and then we start selling them here in US, but not successful in terms of a quality being subpar to what the producers are used to here in US. So we pulled a big trigger. Actually, we imported 1.5 tons after a few small shipments, but as soon as it scaled up, the farmer was overwhelmed and cut a lot of corners. The quality was bad, so we ended up with a big stockpile of cocoa beans that we cannot sell. So that's when Alicia stepped in and she said, because we were ready to throw them away, but she stepped in and says, don't do that, don't throw it away. So she started making chocolate from the beans instead of just being importer. That's how it all started. So since then, we rebrand It's she loved the idea of making chocolate from scratch. I mean, if this is the chocolate I'm gonna make, it has to be good enough for my kids. So that's how Raphio was born. It's Raphael and Rio. We combine it, Raphio, and the mission is pretty simple. It's anything that we make from here on out. Either that's chocolate, either that's confections, either we thinking about ice cream, whatever that is, it has to be good enough, good quality, nothing artificial that we don't want to feed our children. It's good enough for our children. We love them. They're kind of almost our guinea pig, but at the same time, it shows us that we cannot cut corners. We anything that we put out the market is good enough for our own family. Yeah.
I think that segues perfectly with what makes your chocolate different. It's from Indonesia, a place that's not on the map but should be. I personally love your chocolate, but what are some challenges to running a microfactory?
Challenges, that's a big word in our everyday's life and operations of the business. Space is a big challenge. It's a factory, and then we are located in a retail shop. So we have machineries, we have people, and different products requires different space planning. But we try to squeeze everything inside this small retail. So space is a huge issue. At the same time, we cannot just simply go out and lease or rent a big space just because we need it, because we are still in the growing phase where we definitely have to control the expenses to the point where we're not going red. So it's still a juggling exercise to make sure that we put in the labor to compensate the space. So we have to move equipment, and then store them before we put out the next equipment that we can make different products. So we are still okay at the moment, but definitely as soon as we are going back to normal, we are looking at option to expand possibly. But this all depends on the market, really.
What are some resources that could help you make these changes, find a bigger space, etc.?
We have been, in the last 2 years, we have been working with CMTC. Since we are a manufacturing, we manufacture chocolate from scratch. So part of our operations, huge part of our operations is in the manufacturing sector. So CMTC has been able to help us not only just how to get the operational part element of the business tuned up, but also other aspects of the business, such as human resources, which we got a small grant to put us into a training program to make sure that we took care of that, since that's important part of any business. We also got some assistance with marketing. We got some assistance, definitely from the local CMTC advisor, who has been pretty much engaged in community for many years, Craig Sharton. He has been very helpful connecting with a lot of local experts that we can tap into. So that has been a shining light, especially during pandemic for the last year or so. But we still continue to be engaged with those organizations. Small Business Development Center, SBDC, has been also integral in terms of offering webinars and all low cost or free, and we've been able to learn a lot, not just making chocolate, but now running business, how to market our shop and brand. All that plays all plays kind of like almost a role in making the business work as a unit.
I've had some of your Enzo's olive oil infused chocolate bars. What are some other local brands that you've partnered with?
Enzo is definitely the first two, big two that we collaborated with. The first one was Cup of Joy. So we know the owner, Zach, really well, and actually consulted with him before we even started the brand, and really like what he's been doing all these years in the local market. So learn from him and collaborated. So we have chocolate with coffee beans that is really popular, and we use the coffee beans in our espresso drinks, and they also sell our chocolate since we use their beans. So it's almost a nice combinations, because coffee and chocolate, they're just like wine and chocolate, match made in heaven. So that brings us, the first two local collaboration partners, and then we expanded a little bit to Madeira with Ficklin Vineyards. So we use their port wine, which is really nice port wine. I don't know if you've tried them, but it's so good. So we use their wine in our chocolate bonbons, and those are also very addictive. So we keep looking into options of how we can really partner with local businesses, because supporting local has been ingrained in our business since the very beginning. So this summer we are looking into expanding that a little bit more. So wait for our news, but we are coming up with something delicious.
What are your future plans for Raphio?
One aspect of the business that we were not planning from the beginning, but has kind of caught very well, is the education part of the business. There's a lot of things that the customers never knew about. Most of our customers are in the 40s and 50s, and they pay more attention to what they consume, and as soon as we start to explain why our chocolate is different, why it's a lot more expensive compared to mass-produced chocolate in the grocery store, they understand that they want to know more. So 3 years ago, after 2 years in business, we actually offer to provide tours to our factory, and so we kind of just open the door and walk through our kitchen and let everybody taste it, smell it, touch it, eat it, breathe it. It's really a full experience, and it has grown really well, and then it has to stop grinding halt because of pandemic. So we are looking in the future. We are looking into going back to that program, so that we can focus a little bit more on how to really offer this part of the business as an educational segment, and maybe grow on that experience, because not only we have public who not only pay, but they also becomes our loyal fans, and word of mouth, spread the word to everybody they know, but also including some of the school and program, and we are looking to expand that into, hopefully make it into a little bit of extra curriculum, because not only that educational part, but hopefully we can change some of the eating habits of children from young age, rather than just go for sugary sweets and treats. We start with dark chocolate, and then tell them and educate the understanding behind it, so that if they can change their habit from early on, and hopefully they know that, I can only eat this kind of chocolate, good chocolate, not what we call chocolatey sweets, chocolatey sugar, because it's just a chocolate flavored sugar that they've been eating instead of real chocolate. So we are looking into that hard, and hopefully we can really build our foundation based on that. And who knows what we, looking into expanding, the factory with more focus on the tour and education for schools, because we have done that before. We got buses coming in with children, but the space is just way too small. And we got there's one time there was in summer there was 45 kids inside that little space. It was a mess, but we had a lot of fun.
What would you need in order to meet these goals and plans? I know the pandemic ending would be a big part of that.
What really is, what it entails in terms of the circulations, the space planning, how people move from one side to the other without impeding the production. We don't want to, because right now we have to stop production for people to actually be there, because we don't want the kids to kind of touching stuff, because we want it to be clean and sterile environment. So we stop productions, and weekends, that's the only time that we can only do that, and then have people come in and just roaming around the factory. But other than that, I think we have to think about other ways, maybe just through a big glass window, so production still can go on. We can do the tour during normal weekdays, and that will open up, more schools and other organizations like senior homes, to include us as part of the program, rather than only on Sundays, and which schools is closed, and a lot of people don't do a whole lot of activities on Sundays. So that's probably the first, and then the second one to make it happen is financial, of course, assistance. Whether we need to plan it ahead with getting some loans, or looking for grants, in terms of maybe there are organizations out there who are willing to help with the because there will be some cultural element of the tour, because we were talking about how the movement was started, where it came from. A lot of them is from Central America, thousands years back. So there will be, who knows, organizations that are willing to help with artifacts, pictures, images that we can borrow and showcase to people. So it make it more interesting, more educational, rather than just on the food and beverage section.
My final question is, what is your favorite chocolate?
But for me, there is one chocolate bar that I really, really love, and that's dark chocolate from Tanzania, 72%. And that chocolate is just amazing in terms of, it's so complex, the flavor. It's not just, chocolate that you eat, oh, it's sweet and gone. It's really, it once you enjoy it slowly, it started with like almost eating honey. And then once it start melting, that honey is gone, but something replaces it, which is the fruits. So you almost like eating a chocolate covered orange peel. And then after that, after you kind of enjoy that, and it says, how come chocolate tastes like that? Then at the very end, after chocolate is gone, it still lingers in your tongue. And then that's when you got this nice sweet, tangy flavor of that chocolate. And it's just like a nice roller coaster of flavors, like playing, a concert in your mouth. So I like it so much that it's definitely my all-time favorite. And we have sent that chocolate to different chocolate competition around the world. And that one has won a medal in London through Academy of Chocolate competition. So definitely we're proud of that one, and it's my favorite.
Congratulations on that recognition. Is there anything else you'd like to add about making chocolate or running a microfactory?
Yeah, when you pay attention to the ingredients, and it goes to everything, right? Not just chocolate, but a lot of food that we consume. We want to be mindful of how they are made, where they are made, and by who, and by this type of chocolate is what we call craft chocolate. Not only it's produced with a story here in Fresno, but where they come from is it's a huge story. Those farmers who actually grow and harvest them and process them and send them to us, without them there is no chocolate in the other parts of the world. So those in the third world countries, we are doing our part to help them out too. So a lot of the costs for us to purchase those raw ingredients, which are expensive, but knowing that those that we pay goes directly to the farmers to better their life, to better their families, knowing that that should make a lot of our customers feel good.
Thank you for joining, Yohanes. Listeners and viewers, make sure to reach out to Yohanes and his wife, Alicia, through their website at raphiochocolate.com. That's raphiochocolate.com. That's RAPHIOCHOCOLATE.com, or give them a call at 559-424-3369. Make sure to reach out to our sponsor, the InnoFact Show. They're going to be virtually in Las Vegas, June 8th to 9th, and they're showcasing innovations in facility management for hospitality and entertainment. Go to theinfactshow.com/become a delegate and use our premium $20 discount using the code PLANT20 until May 25th. Now we will have a moment of silence for our Black Lives Matter community.